addicted to love. Hold on tight to your dream.
Hi everyone, welcome to the channel, especially if you're new to the channel in Mini ownership. I'd like to talk about the Mini apps today. There are two of them. There's the old Mini Connected and the new Mini app. A few differences between them. Today I'll cover the new one, not Mini Connected. I'm using an Android phone, but other types of phones do exist. So the first thing to do is to find the apps. They're both produced by the BMW group, so that should make it easy to find. But seeing these icons here, Mini Connected, the old one, should give you a better idea of which app is which. I find when you're looking for apps, sometimes they all look the same if people are using the same images. And this is the new Mini app, so this is the one that you should be using by default, I believe. But the older Mini Connected, that's still available. Now Mini Connected, that's been around for quite a few years, so it works with petrol and diesel minis too. It's not just for the electric version. So let's get going and click the new Mini app on the phone and see what happens. Now there is a setup process when you're adding your car for the first time. I'm not going to cover that in today's video. As you can see, it uses a PIN number, but also uses fingerprint recognition. So really good. You don't have to remember a password. It's very easy to log in. And what makes a change is the actual information that you're interested in seeing most of the time, stated charge and range, is on the front screen. And one of the cool features, it actually recognizes my actual car. So yes, those are my wheels and that's my color combination. So let's start at the top and work our way down. So we're going to click Garage first. And simply, it shows an image of your car, the VIN number, and the number of miles on the odometer. Yeah, I know, 367. You can tell there's a lockdown, can't you? And for completeness, let's click the Add Vehicle just to show you the sort of thing that it shows you. Probably worth mentioning at this point is I am slowing the video down at points, so the responsiveness is much faster than it appears in this video. Moving down the screen, let's try Check Status. And again, we get the image of my car. 3 tabs at the top of the screen for doors and windows, check control messages, and services. So let's try the first one, doors and windows, and let's unlock the car. Speed-wise, I find these sort of commands take about 1 minute to 2 minutes to get to the car. So you're clicking on the app, it's sending it over Wi-Fi, it arrives on a server at BMW Group, they send it across over a text message type signal, a 3G mobile signal, and that basically sends messages to the car to unlock. So you're waiting for the service to respond, you're waiting for your car to pick up the message and to actually initiate it. But 1 minute to 2 minutes is what I find. This bit of video is in real time, and there we go, it's unlocked. Next, let's try check control messages and see what that shows. Well, as you'd expect with a brand new car, no issues. That's good news. And lastly, the services tab. So what that shows you here is what services are due on the car. So it's listing 4 items: the front brake pad change, the rear brake pad change, the vehicle check, and a brake fluid service. So I've got dates on 2 of them, but the front brake pad and rear brake pad, it doesn't have any details for when that's required. Well, again, with my electric car, those brake pads shouldn't be being changed, should they? Because of the Regen, we're not using the friction brakes, so they shouldn't need to be serviced for a long time. Not unless they're overly rusted, corroded, and haven't been looked after. Okay, so let's go back to the front screen and relock the car, because I don't want to leave it unlocked. And if you try to click another remote service at the same time one's already running, like in this case, trying to flash the headlights, then it'll give you a message saying there's already a remote service running and you can't do it. So while it's trying to lock the car again, let's have a look in the middle. We've got Vehicle Finder, Charge and Climate, Scan and Charge, and Remote History. Remote history is self-explanatory. It's the list of remote commands that you've sent to the car, including Climatize Now, as you can see there, and also lock and unlock, those sort of things. So let's try Scan and Charge next. It's a feature that I don't use, and I think there's a good reason for that. As soon as you click it, it basically says you need to install an app. You also need to go to minicharging.com and set up an account for it. And I think what we've got here is an affiliate system for affiliate charging networks. Mini has contracts with those networks. You get a standard rate of charging across those networks, and it helps you find just their chargers. But of course, when I've had a look, it's not available in the UK. Not yet, anyway. Okay, charge and climate next, so that's the programming of timers to charge the car and whether you want to precondition it as well. But there is a preconditioning button right at the top there with the lock and unlock and flash the headlights button. The fan on the right hand side, click that and it preconditions the car now. Just warms it up basically and defrosts it. So charging, basically it's when do you want to charge immediately or charge on a time slot. Those are your two options. Charge immediately is obvious, so let's try charge in a time slot. This is really quite simple to use. You just scroll through the numbers there, the time for when you want to start charging and when you want to finish charging. And then when you've done and you've got the time correct in your cheapest slot, let's say in the evening, you send it to the car. And then there's climatization, preconditioning of the car ready for departure. So basically you can set this to have the car warmed up, defrosted, or cool down if you're in a hot country, ready for just when you're going to get in the car and go for the drive. This is an independent time from when you're charging your car, so the car will be charged at one time and then preconditioned just in time. I think it's about half an hour that it starts before you're ready to leave. I mentioned the Climatise Now button. That's the one that I use mostly. Let's give it a go. The only downside that I've seen is once you press this start button, it starts to climatise the car. There's no stop button remotely, so if you press it as a test or change your mind and you're not going to go out, you have to go outside to the car, open it up, turn it on, and that will stop the climatization process. And while that's running, let's go and have a look at Vehicle Finder. So basically, if I press this, it comes up with a message saying that I have to enable my vehicle's GPS. I've actually got it set so that it's off at the moment, and hence I can't do this. What I think happens is you click this and it loads up a map and tells you where your car is. Helpful if you've lost your car in your car park or can't remember exactly where it was, or the wife's borrowed it and you want to see where she's gone, all those sort of things. Sounds like a very useful feature, but at the moment I've got GPS turned off in my car. I was doing some testing to work out whether it had any vampire drain, whether leaving GPS on drained the battery at all, but it doesn't seem to. Then there's the option to flash your light, so it's the headlight symbol. Click that, click flash, and then it'll send the command to have your headlights flash. Great if you've lost your car in the car park, but also a bit of fun if you've got someone walking past the car, you can have the lights flash at them. Okay, so I think this is saving the best till last, charging history. All electric cars should have this. If the car knows what it's charged, why doesn't it record it in some sort of a trip history so you can see what you've charged and when you've charged as well? I really like this. All electric cars ought to have it. The old Mini Connected app, that didn't show charging history, so this alone is a good reason to move across to the new Mini app. And across the top you've got a slider, so you can slide from December to November to January, etc. and see what your charging was each month. So we're nearly there now, scrolling to the bottom past retailer services where you can select a retailer and schedule a service. You've got some information and a mini driver's guide. Click that and it basically loads up an app that will show you driving tips like for Regen and how to be efficient. And then at the very bottom of the screen you've got the little location balloon bubble thing. You click that and it'll bring up a map and show you where you are, plus where your retailers are and charging stations, all those sort of things nearby. So pretty handy, but it's just like loading Google Maps really, but it's obviously going to point you to where the dealers are. And if you select the dealer that you'd most like to take your car to, you can save it as your preferred dealership. So whilst we're here, let's show you how we can send a destination across to the car's satnav system. So from the map, I'm going to type in Lincoln, well try to anyway, and it comes up with the options. Select Lincoln, yep, that's the right place, the right distance. Oh, out of range, 113 miles. Well, if I was fully charged, I'd make it anyway, wouldn't I? So I could send it to my car from here, or view the route first, which I'm going to. Obviously, you should always do that. Make sure you're not going to the other Lincoln. And once you're happy, click Send to My Mini, and off it goes. Job done. Unfortunately, there's one more step before it's actually loaded to the sat-nav. So when you're in the car, you have to go to Mini Connected and have a look for messages. It's a message that's been sent, and there should be one there labelled Lincoln. There it is, My Info Lincoln. Select the message, and there we have it. We've got the time and the distance. And if you click the one with the flag, the actual destination, it should then load it as a destination. And there we go. Start route guidance. And away we go.
Please follow the road for half a mile.
And I think we'll skip a few things here. I don't need to take you through BMW Financial Services or their online shop. But at the bottom there, call roadside assistance. That's a pretty handy one, but I'm not going to test it, obviously. So there you go, that's the Mini app. I'll show the Mini Connected app on a separate occasion and a separate video. But until then, thanks for watching. Hope you found that useful. See you again soon. Bye for now.